lot in metaphysics and what we go into at our courses here at Hidden Power University. So I wanted to dispel some myths and give you some clarity based on science, based on metaphysics as to what the density levels are. And I'm going to try to do it in 7 minutes. 7 densities, 7 heavens in 7 minutes. So bear with me. First of all, it's important that you understand what density level that you're on. It's important that you can have a scientific framework of what these terms really mean. So another takeaway from this video is how to know what density level you're on. And we're talking about models. We're talking about a figurative way of saying what your frequency vibration is. And by the way, before I move forward really quick, as you know, everything is 15% off in our wellness store. So this is your chance to stock up. We're pretty much selling out. By this evening, we're going to be sold out of the gold and probably the platinum and the man of steel and possibly the Lotus Ascension tea. So grab those if you're interested. So moving forward, how do you know what vibration you're on? What is vibration? What is density? Well, the more dense something is, the slower it vibrates. A rock is at a very slow vibration. It is very dense. And as vibration increases, density decreases. So vibration increases, it becomes less dense and it begins to expand. The same way water becomes vapor when it's boiled. So a person on 5D is less dense than a 3D person. They're less dense and they are more expanded due to their higher vibration. So we're going to go through all of these density levels, starting at density level 1. Density level 1 is going to be your metals and your elements. Different elements are on different density levels as well. But it's when your metals, your transitions into your metalloids, and then your non-metals, and then on the periodic chart, it begins to matriculate to your compounds, right? Your compounds and your solutions, such as salts, right? That is going to be first density. On the upper level of first density, you're going to have organic compounds, okay? Organic compounds such as carbon, right? Carbon, which is the basis of melanin. So as the energy begins to increase, it goes to second density, which is your basic amino acids. And you know amino acids are your building blocks for proteins. These proteins are the foundation of your deoxyribonucleic acid, also known as DNA. This also is the vibration of your viruses. Viruses are on second density. Then as the energy increases, it becomes bacteria. And along that lines, archaea, okay? And as it begins to matriculate even faster and vibrate on a faster level, you have unicellular organisms such as your amoeba, protozoa, algae, spirulina, chlorella, all of those things, right? This is your second density beings or entities. And by the way, all of this has consciousness and all of this is alive. Don't think that a rock is not a level of living just because it doesn't function in the way that you think. This is advanced information. You can't have something conscious such as yourself that's made up of unconscious building blocks, such as atoms and elements. Those atoms and elements contain the atoms, right, or atom, or the elements, which is the basic parts of a thing, of consciousness that builds up to an entity all the way to sentient beings as we move forward on this energy scale. Okay, so next is third density. Third density is going to be multicellular organisms, insects, right? Animals. 90% of the activity that they do is all to get some food and to avoid becoming food. These are third density beings. This is also your basic humans, third density. Not too much different from an animal, pretty much, especially the masses of humanity. This is your basic humanity, the Anunnaki or the Nanahu, we used to call them Lulu Amelu, which are your primitive workers. These are the basic people that were created on the planet. This is also going to be your higher mammals, chimpanzees, all forms of apes, all the way to going way back, Homo erectus, Homo habilis, Neanderthal, all third density. As the energy begins to increase even more, sentience begins to evolve. This is where you have your advanced humans, those who are aware that they create their reality using the mind and take responsibility for that. They have mastered the threes, or third density, which is persons, places, and things, food, clothing, and shelter. They are master manipulators. And not manipulators in terms of a bad things, meaning that they can have control over these persons, places, and things, food, clothing, and shelter. They're skilled professionals. These are your technicians, people that are very skilled at what they do. Okay? They're very skilled in society, in the complex workings of society, as well as politics. Very socially fluent, social intelligence. Politically correct, okay? But they're trapped in persons, places, and things, as well as food, clothing, and shelter. They haven't totally mastered that. They have a level of mastery of it, but they're still trapped in something called time. They have to be at a certain place, at a certain time, and engaged in a certain activity most of the time. It's called a JOB. This is fourth density. Now, let me clear something up. The density level that you're on is the density level that you're currently working through. You haven't fully mastered it, okay? Once you fully master it, you become on the next density. So a person on fourth density, they have not mastered fourth density. It's still in that chamber, developing the skills of mastery and vibration and consciousness, intelligence, to master that density level. So fourth density, they still have a level of control of a person, places, and things, but they're still trapped in time, okay? Fifth density. Now, fifth density, you are no longer trapped in time. They say fourth dimensional is time. Yes, you are in the time. Okay, that's the misconception I really wanted to clear up. Fourth density, you are still in the circles of time. Timelines, sequential events. If I do this, then this. Okay? Cause and effect. Okay, on a very basic level, fourth density. When you get to fifth density, you have mastered time. You have mastered person, places, and things, food, clothing, and shelter. These are sentient beings who have mastered the mysteries of time, as well as persons, places, and things, food, clothing, and shelter. They are master manifestors, right? They don't work. They play, right? Their work is their play. It's all one and the same, and it's all manifested. Their job is to manifest, if you will. It's no longer, they don't have to do anything that they don't want to do in order to have some food. See? Their work is manifested. They make things happen like magic. This is why in the tarot, the number of the magician is 5, which is also the number in numerology for change, right? A more new agey way of saying change is alchemy. They are alchemists. They are able to transform things in their environment because they are so fluid, because they can transform themselves. They make things happen like magic with very little effort. Very little effort. See those chimes blowing? I say, watch when I sit down, watch them come for the pickup. So that is individuals that are wealthy. Usually very wealthy, super rich, well off. People's work is their manifesting. They have a lot of extra time. That's another thing. When you free up your time, you got time to kick back and get creative. You can get funky with it. You can get creative with your magic. And this is where I'm taking you when we come to this event. When you come to that event in August, I'm taking you to fifth density. I'm taking you to fifth density. Get ready. Like I said, they don't have to be in one place at one given time, engaged in any particular given activity. They are non-local and can be, do, and have whatever they will. Okay? One thing and one activity at a time. See? They master time, but it's only one thing at a time. They can only put their behind on one throne at a time. They can only enjoy one sip of wine at a time. See? That is fifth density. When the energy begins to increase, you now matriculate to the sixth density, which are multi-dimensional sentient beings who can simultaneously be, do, have, experience more than one thing at one time and at more than one point in time. Multi-dimensional. See? I was talking to somebody the other day, said, yeah, you're talking about wealth and things, but I said, look, at the same time, you can only put your ass on one seat at a time. You can only live in one house at a time. You can have 1 million houses. You can only be in one at a time. You follow me? You get to a certain level, you become multidimensional. This is a very powerful turning point. They can be at several places in time and space at one time. They talk about past lives. I've been telling y'all for years, there's no such thing as past lives. It's all simultaneous. People just can't get that through their head. It's no such thing. It's just that you are on a certain density level of consciousness that you can only experience one. Now, sometimes in the dream state, some of it, if you can remember,